Now, Mayor Arndt, let me ask you, now that you've completed this first citizens assembly, how does it work where you incorporate recommendations into policy? How do you do the next step?
Sure, it's super interesting, right? So at the same time, we had this sort of deeper dive into the community going on. We also have one of the groups who's very passionate about keeping that as a natural area or having it become a natural area is passing around petitions in the community to get that on the ballot.
Okay.
So I had to ask our attorney if we passed an ordinance codifying the citizen assembly results, what would have precedent? The ballot initiative, should it pass? Or the ordinance? And she said the ballot initiative. So if we could decide, if council don't want to get ahead of them, you know what happens then, they get mad.
Yeah, right.
But through our deliberations, we have an option of sending it to the ballot. So I went back to the attorney. What happens if we have two conflicting ballot initiatives? The one with the most votes wins.
The one with the most votes, because we had run into this in other venues before, and sometimes it's the one that passes first. Or sorry, the one that passes most recently. So if you have two competing things and one of them passes in 2021, the other one passes in 2022, the 22 overrides the 21. But you're saying if they're on the same ballot, the one that gets the most votes, that's really interesting. Is that a Fort Collins fact or is that a Colorado fact?
It is an interesting, so there's always more to our democratic processes to learn. And you're right, Ian, I had to ask that question. So that's interesting. So then
So we've done this now in Fort Collins and I think one other city in Colorado, is that right? Or is Fort Collins the total laboratory test ground?
No, Montrose, Colorado. I don't know that it was commissioned by government, but there were folks kind of involved with government. They did one on childcare. It's a childcare desert down there. You can find the recommendations online. Boulder is running one right now that will go through the fall on, urban planning questions, 15-minute cities. Basically, you want to commit to making the density changes or not,